Hey, wazza! It's me, Strawhut. I'm back from the dead, and you'll never guess what I saw whilst I was chilling in the underworld. Not only did I see Satan still trying to work out how Pell evaded him, but I also saw Lafitte taking the souls of the dead across the river. Yeah, that's right. Today's theory is about how Lafitte mirrors a certain Greek god, has some sort of power over souls in the afterlife, and how this tells us where he is right now in the story. My name's Strawhut. I'm Ewan's butler, and on my 15-minute break, I'm going to tell you why Lafitte is so manipulative, his One Piece is so Eisen. Elbaf has been more and more of a talking point in the story recently. I won't go into spoilers for anime onlys, but trust me, it has. Now, a prevalent character from Elbaf we first heard from Whole Cake Island is Loki. This was when Big Mom tried and thankfully failed to get Chiffon to marry Loki to merge with the giant pirates and take over the whole world. Now, we haven't seen much of Loki, but from what we have seen, he seems like a peaceful guy. He gave Chiffon a flower, so he seems pretty compassionate, a caring sort of guy. But as we know, the Blackbeard pirates ain't quite like that, so just keep in mind for now, Loki's nice and Lafitte is not. First things first, I want to show you who I think Oda used as inspiration for Lafitte's character in the story. I think Lafitte was directly inspired by the Greek god Hermes. Thankfully, he was inspired by the delivery company Hermes, or he'd probably be only just arriving at Marijua to tell the Marines to make Blackbeard a warlord by now. But yeah, he was inspired by the Greek god, and there's actually a lot of evidence for this. Firstly, Hermes is known as the messenger of the gods, and so specializes in conveying information back and forth. Well, who did Blackbeard choose to go to the Navy in person and convey his reputation to, and suggest Blackbeard be chosen to be a warlord? That's right, Lafitte. But I know what you're thinking, Strawhut, that ain't enough proof. Well then, how about how Hermes is famously portrayed as having wings on his ankles, and in some portrayals just straight up wings? Who does that remind you of? Look, Lafitte. Have you not been paying attention? but I know what you're thinking, Strawhut, that still ain't enough proof. Well then, how come Hermes is described as having a staff and a wide-brimmed hat, whilst Lafitte has a drip to match? But I know what you're thinking, Strawhut, that still ain't enough proof. Then Jesus Christ, how much more proof do you want? Sorry. I saw Mr. Walker replace his fake mustache in his mustache closet yesterday, and I still haven't gone over it. He's secretly got an ulti fan club tattoo above his top lip, but you didn't hear that from me. Anyway, Hermes also is regarded as the god of stealth, and I don't think you need much convincing as to why that links to Lafitte. The guy literally snuck into Marijua, bypassing the attention of high-ranking admirals and warlords, some of which have observation haki, whilst wearing tap-dancing shoes. Shoes designed to make noise. Lafitte must have very low real estate value because he is living on the edge. Imagine being so stealthy you can interrupt Mihawk by announcing your presence. One of the reasons he may be able to be so stealthy and bypass observation haki is that Hermes is said to be able to move between the boundaries of worlds, especially the world of the living and the dead, but I'll get more into that a bit later. But maybe due to his Hermes inspiration, Lafitte has some sort of ability to move between worlds similar to Blue Nose Door Fruit or Brulee's Mirror World, which allows him to sneak around undetected so well. Also, Hermes has been known to be able to turn invisible, so Lafitte may also be able to do this to add to his stealth. Though since Shiryu can do it, I doubt Oda will make it so Lafitte can too, unless he wants to completely John Cena the entire crew. Granted, that would be quite a tough final battle for the Straw Hats. As well as this, Lafitte is clearly inspired by Hermes because Hermes also had the ability to make anyone fall asleep and wake up. Now this is interesting because of the speculation both in and out of the story that Blackbeard doesn't sleep, or maybe he has multiple souls and one sleeps while others stay awake. Regardless, having a crew member that can make you fall asleep and wake up would be useful if Blackbeard cannot make himself sleep or control when he can, for whatever reason Oda is cooking. Imagine if Lafitte fought Cavendish. Lafitte would be toast. Another quick thing before my next point, Hermes is called the Protector of Thieves, and Lafitte fights for a crew that steals Devil Fruit powers. Right, Lafitte is also the Blackbeard Pirate's navigator, and it would make sense that a guy who can fly and move between boundaries of worlds would be able to travel and navigate around pretty well. Hermes was also the bringer of good luck and dreams, and Lafitte has been stated to believe in both in the story. Plus, Hermes was characteristically described as amoral, having no instinct for right and wrong. He was also intelligent, athletic, and liked to cheat. which not only suits a strong evil pirate group and how the Blackbeard pirates cheat, but also resonates with his backstory as a police officer who was kicked out of the West Blue for having no restraint of being too brutal to the criminals he caught, which was probably all of them. Now, I'm not agreeing with how he acted, but I will say the crime levels in the West Blue were probably lower than Impel Down while Laffite was sporting the badge. Hermes was also called Castle Raider, which may sound menacing depending on who you compare the epithet to. For example, Castle Raider like Sauron sounds menacing, but Castle Raider like Bowser does not. We all know the most badass Castle Raider was Shrek in Shrek 2. Be good. And going back to the scene where Laffite demonstrates his stealth, he did so by sneaking into Merijois and surprising them. The Blackbeard pirates also raided Impel Down for crew members and Marineford to take Whitebeard's Quake fruit. Another important detail of Hermes' personality was that he was good at lying and manipulating people using convincing and seductive words, even earning the title of friendliest to man. Now, combining the two themes of raiding castles and being great with words to manipulate people, this is why Blackbeard chose Laffite to infiltrate Merijois Castle, so he could convince the Marines to choose Blackbeard as the next warlord with his convincing words and extensive manipulation skills, and it worked. Lastly, this is more of an interesting speculation, but there is a story of how Hermes cured a city of plague by carrying a ram around the city's walls. So I'm just saying, if there's a flashback of how Laffite met Doc Q, and it involves Laffite carrying his sheep for some reason, then we know where Oda got his inspiration from. Oh, and one more crucial detail. Hermes had a son called Pan, who had goat's legs, and the only human character in the story who had goat-like features is Merry, who had goat's horns. Ergo, Laffite is Merry's father! I'm joking. Unless... Now, that was a lot, but hopefully you see, or at least open to believing how Hermes was the inspiration for Laffite's character. Thank you. My next point is where this video gets tasty though. Call me Sanji the way my videos make your lips smack. Sorry. Anyway, in history, as the Romans mingled with Germanic communities, a lot of accepted similarities were drawn between Hermes and Odin. Some of you are remembering my mention of Elbaf at the start of the video. Yes, so Hermes shared a lot of attributes with Odin, but also the Norse god Loki. Yes. Hermes and Odin, in their respective religions and mythology, both carry staffs and wear wide-brimmed hats, both have eloquent dialects, and both are responsible for the passage of the dead to the afterlife. Furthermore, Hermes and Loki are both deceitful divine tricksters, good manipulators, and good at lying. So, I want to make clear, Hermes is very similar to these two gods, and the One Piece story is going to shift towards Elbaf sometime in the very near future. So why am I telling you this? Finally, the theory! I think Laffite has been in Elbaf for a while, and is manipulating Loki the ruler so that Blackbeard can take over Elbaf as part of his plan, or something along those lines. My main point is that Laffite is manipulating the ruler Loki. But if Blackbeard does plan to take Elbaf, it would be a cool location for his upcoming fight with Shanks. Anyway, yeah, due to Laffite's Hermes inspiration and Hermes' similarities with Odin and Loki, I think Oda wanted Laffite to be a manipulator in a position of powerful rule in the land inspired by Norse mythology. Laffite being literally the angel on Loki's left shoulder, but is actually the devil. This also makes sense chronologically, as Laffite has not been seen for 309 chapters since chapters 803 in Zou. So, Blackbeard sending him off on a stealth mission to manipulate the ruler of Elbaf works. Who knows, maybe Laffite hid his presence and spoke to Loki, convincing him he was a deity like the sun god, and was able to manipulate him from then on. But now Luffy, the actual sun god, is going to go to Elbaf eventually and liberate the crap out of the land of giants from its corrupt rule. Also, another piece of speculation is that Odin's horse was called Sleipnir. It had 8 legs, was described as the fastest and strongest of horses, and had some speculated ties to the underworld too. So, if we ever see Laffite riding an 8-legged horse, even though he can fly, just accept this theory as gospel and crown me the king of the One Piece YouTubers. It would also just be nice to see a new friend for Stronger. He needs the moral support. It's also a funny image that the Blackbeard pirates are all slowly becoming horse enthusiasts.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Okay, hear me out. I just tried to do some abstract thinking and realised Saturn is a bull and a spider, and Katerina Devon just stole his appearance. So, if at any point we see Laffite riding what seems to be Saturn, then we can assume my theory is correct. After all, what's a half bull, half spider but an 8-legged horse, right? Right? Jesus, that was more of a stretch than a Gomma Gomma No rocket. Right, now on to Laffite's powers. I think Laffite's powers, like Odin and Hermes, somehow relate to him controlling souls and being able to pass between the world of the living and the dead, which would make him an ideal opponent for Brooke, but I'll explain that more in an upcoming video. So if this is true, it's possible if he is manipulating the ruler of Elbaf, he could also control which souls of giants went to Valhalla and Folkvanger, where honourable warriors' souls go, or Hell, where non-honourable warriors' souls go. And since we've only ever seen honourable giants and warrior giants to my knowledge, Laffite's benefiting Blackbeard somehow by switching the ratio of the majority of giants' souls going to Valhalla or Folkenvega to them going to Hell, either in secret or Loki allowing it, will be one of the main points of conflict and corruption that will need to be solved in Elbaf. Honestly, I can't stand it. What a manipulative guy Laffite is. Now the Blackbeard pirates better hide behind Kuzan because I'm about to put some heat on Laffite. Shout out to Randy Troy. Laffite is so creepy that Maury employed him to coach the zombies on Thriller Bark. Laffite is so horrible that Judge has posters of him on his bedroom wall. Laffite is so annoying that instead of watching him, I'd rather listen to a bass-boosted version of Big Mum's hit single, Wedding Cakey. Call me Gladius because boom, roasted. Anyway, that's my theory. This may be true, it may be not true to be honest, a lot of this is speculative, but I just want it to be known that I think Laffite is manipulating Loki, the ruler of Elbaf, for Blackbeard somehow, and Laffite's powers involve controlling souls and the afterlife, okay? Okay. Whoops, my break is almost up. Better go before Eames threatens to turn me into a Den mushy again. Then how can I type out my theories? Thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye guys!